Good morning. I am Dr. Christine Lee, procrastination coach. Today I selected the topic of overthinking to talk about because I wanted to pick a topic that was really relevant, that would really help you save time and get past your procrastination. And overthinking is definitely the place to be. So what are the problems with overthinking? We all do it sometimes. And I see it certainly in the patients that I work with. I work with a lot of college students, and what I've learned from working with college students is just the thought that just because you're smart doesn't mean you should be spending all of your time in thought, because we end up wasting a lot of time when we just ruminate, hash things over, try to figure out the best options all the time, and avoid action. So the dangers of overthinking are: 1, you get really anxious. 2, you can feel overwhelmed because you're anxious, and you can feel overwhelmed by the options that you're creating in your head. 3, you can lose time, which is of course very costly. And 4, you can also lose your sense that you can handle things, because the more you get overwhelmed, the less faith you have in yourself. So let's just try to avoid overthinking as a general policy. And now I'm going to give you 3 tips for actually getting rid of overthinking. All right. The first tip is to decide to become more mindful about your thinking process. Try to decide, when you're trying to solve a problem, what could you do, rather than thinking, what should you do? When we think in terms of should, then we get caught in that game of, oh, I have to find the exact right answer. Oh, everything needs to be perfectly timed and laid out. Instead of thinking, okay, what is something that I could just throw out there that could be suitable, that would be good enough, that would help me get further into the game? So think about could instead of should. The second tip is to, instead of thinking too much about things, to decide that I'm going to act and see how things go. So this is the opposite of feeling like you need to know exactly what is going to happen at the end of your efforts, that you need to control the outcome, that you need to be absolutely 100% certain that things are going to work out for you. This is the model of action where we act and then we see what we need to do. We act and then we discover what the next steps are. Instead of feeling like we need to be tight and rigid and controlling about everything, we decide we're going to let things roll, we're going to stay in motion, and we're going to not spend all of our time thinking about things. The third and final tip is a big one. This tip is to make sure that we minimize the sense that there's risk. Every time we feel like something is going to be important, or something could go wrong, or something might be wasted, we get all tied up in knots and we start to not think clearly and we start to stay stagnant. So instead of feeling like everything's such a humongous big deal, let's just think, oh, here's another Facebook Live. Oh, here's another Wednesday. Oh, here's another work project. Instead of calculating everything that can go wrong and all the things that will happen to our reputation or to our bank account or to our lives, it's just too much stress to put on any one particular topic, and I just don't think it's worth all of that overthinking and overstress. So to summarize, instead of overthinking, try to get into action instead. Think about what you can gain instead of what might be at risk. Think about what you could do instead of what you need to do and should do and have to do. And think about how you can be more flexible and free, rather than siding with the side of being certain and controlling and needing to demand everything of everybody, instead of just letting things flow and letting things be in play and interacting with the feedback that comes your way when it will come. All right. So I hope that helps you today. Today's a great day. It's a beautiful day here in New York. I wish you all the best. If you're not following me on Instagram, there's a big party happening over there. I'm sending out lots of Instagram stories like I do typically, but lately I've been also taping some IGTV pieces, which are just a little bit longer segments with these tips and tricks. I hope you're avoiding the tics, and I will see you here on my Facebook page next Tuesday at 10 a.m. again for more thoughts on what you can do to get your game on. Okay, take care. Thanks for listening. Bye.